What's quote 101 from the Marxist Socialists? I didn't remember that one.
Quote 101. Let's have a look real quick. Quote 101. This one was the one, actually, it's towards the bottom down there. It says, then would come, this is the first indented paragraph, the second line on page 101. Then would come socialism, a just productive society without class distinctions. Later, at a certain stage when industrial production was very high, this socialist society will turn into communism, a perfect society without police, money, or even government. Goods will be in such plenty that people will just take what they need. There will be no private property, so there will be no need for police. And basically what they're saying is that the classes would wither away. So this kind of falls in with the whole starting line, finish line analogy, this quote 101 from chapter 6. When you look at this, we did starting line, finish line already. Ideology, as far as communism goes, we had proletariat and bourgeoisie, and then there were a number of others, and there were a good chunk of articles from this chapter. So we had the traffic article. What was the traffic article, do you remember? The tunnel article. Go ahead, Orlando.
Wasn't that some people wanted to demolish a mountain to make way for a new road that would eliminate?
There was a fault line, a tunnel through
Okay.
that was on a fault line.
And this was in
California.
California. In California, what they wanted to do was they wanted to blow a tunnel through a mountain on a fault line in order to build a highway that would go through there. Indeed, to ease the traffic on a two-lane road that was kind of winding through the mountains outside of Los Angeles. Does anybody remember how much this would have cost?
$3 billion, I thought.
Trillion, billion, a lot. Let's go back to the article on this one. They were looking, I believe it was it's $9 billion, and it was going to take 25 years. $9 billion over the course of 25 years. So this was fraught with all sorts of problems. But what ideology did this really demonstrate? Liberal. Why liberal, Danny?
Because they wanted change.
Because they want to change. Okay, that sounds familiar. Maybe a little bit more though. Why liberal, Orlando?
They thought they could take something and improve it and make it better for most or all people.
Liberals generally believe that the glass is half full, meaning they're going to look at people how?
As good.
As good, optimistically. So their thought is that if government or if people take technology and they have good ideas, then they're going to be able to overcome problems and they're going to be able to make things better. So their thought was, we will use our modern technology, our blueprints, our ideas, our engineers, we'll blow this tunnel through here. This is a project that will work. But what was the problem again, Russell?
It was on a fault line.
It was on a fault line. And what could conceivably happen?
There could be an earthquake.
Earthquake.
There hasn't been one in 100 years.
There hasn't been one in
That's
100
what they
years.
argued,
Yeah, so this could actually be a great plan, or this could be, they're basically spending $9 billion over 25 years for a mass grave when the fault line does happen, and then the mountain tunnel collapses, and you kill all of those drivers, which indeed would solve the traffic problem, if you will. So again, you can laugh about this, but this is liberalism. The glass is half full. Go ahead.
The idea of the traffic problem, like, they were trying to fix because they said, like, a certain amount of people spend a certain amount of time, like, in traffic. That was, like, an insane amount of time. Wasn't that, like, a major problem?
There was part of it was with that, and part of it was the number of people in the area had grown, and that two-lane road, or whatever lane road it was that was trying to run through there, could not accommodate, because they were dealing with hundreds of thousands of commuters a day, and it just, what's that?
I think it was 250,000.
Yeah, they were dealing with a gargantuan number, and it wasn't built for that. So they were trying to alleviate some of the stress on that is what they were trying to do. Go ahead.
Is it because LA went
out
apart and not up?
And not up, yeah. That's exactly what it was. LA expanded out, and they don't have anything to be able to accommodate that number of people. What was the conservative article?
Jim Crow laws.
What were the Jim Crow laws?
Isn't it the cross?
No.
Not the cross.
No,
Not the cross. We're going to get to that one. But what were the Jim Crow laws? Go ahead.
They were laws segregating things.
Yeah, the racial laws.
Okay, and how does that deal with conservatism?
Conserving what exists, because even though slavery was banned, they still wanted to keep blacks separate, so they were conserving what was already going on.
That's exactly what it was. Conservatives view human nature as what? Liberals are optimistic.
Evil.
Conservatives are going to be pessimistic. And do they believe in change?
No.
What could change lead to? Change could could actually